Good morning, students of class 9. Welcome back to the online classes now. Let's continue our lesson in English, My Childhood. It's all about the life history of Abdul Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam. So, it is an extract from his autobiography, The Wings of Fire. So far, we have learned about his childhood and about his teacher, about his family, and the qualities he adopted from his father, inherited it from his father and mother, and about his best friends who were from the Orthodox Hindu families, and about the incident that took place in the class when he was in class 5. So far, today we'll try to finish this. Now, today we'll talk about 3 paragraphs in short. So let's go through it in detail. In our previous class, we have learned that Abdul Kalam was invited for a meal in his teacher's house, who was an Orthodox Brahmin family. But his wife was very conservative. She was terrified about the idea of calling a Muslim boy to have a dinner or have food in her ritually pure kitchen. And Mr. Siva Subramaniam Iyer, his science teacher, Kalam's science teacher, he served the food with his own hand, and they sat down at the veranda outside near the house, the outside veranda, in the veranda, and they had their food. And Siva Subramaniam Iyer, his teacher, sat beside him, and Abdul Kalam ate in the same way as his teacher. So, and his wife, conservative wife, his teacher's conservative wife, was watching them eating food from behind the kitchen door. Now again, after the meal, when Abdul Kalam was about to leave for home, so his teacher again asked him to come again next week to have the meal. And Abdul Kalam hesitated. And what did the teacher say? Teacher said, "Don't get upset, Abdul Kalam, don't get upset. When you decide to change the system, this type of problem you have to confront or you have to face. So don't worry, you come next week and we'll have food together." So till there we have finished. Now paragraph 9, the ending part. Next week, number 1. Next week, again, Kalam was invited by his teacher. His teacher's name was Siva Subramaniam Iyer. He was the best teacher, science teacher. This time, Siva Subramaniam Iyer's wife took Abdul Kalam inside her kitchen. This time, it totally changed. This time, his teacher's wife, who was very conservative, took Kalam inside her kitchen and served food with her own hands. You see, Siva Subramaniam was successful in changing her thoughts and ways and behavior about the different communities. She was totally changed. He made her understand. So this shows that she served food with her own hands to his teacher and Abdul Kalam, and that too inside the kitchen. Before she rejected, she did not allow them. Now here, paragraph 10, that was the ending part of paragraph 9. Now we'll talk about paragraph 10. Paragraph 10, number 1. The Second World War was over. By the time Second World War was over, and India's freedom was imminent. Imminent means about to take place, about to happen. Everybody was expecting, now the world war is over, now we will get the freedom. Do you know this? In history it is written that during the war, the Britishers, the colonial government, requested the Indian leaders to provide soldiers. And under one condition, once the war gets over, so you will get freedom. And the Indian leaders readily accepted this. And they provided soldiers, young boys. They were recruited and taken to the war. to fight in the front line. So after the war, when the war was over, all the leaders and all the people of the whole country was expecting that they will get freedom now, because as it was promised by the colonials. The freedom was imminent. India's freedom was imminent. Imminent means about to happen or about to take place, because they expected that, because it was promised by the colonizers or Britishers. Indians will build their own country, declared Gandhiji. Gandhiji said at that time, Indians now will build their own country. They will stand on their own feet. So this sentence shows that everyone was expecting, even Gandhiji was expecting, they will have the freedom. They will get the freedom, because it was promised by the colonizers during the war. To provide soldiers, they are promised that after the war you will get the freedom. So number 2, the whole country was expecting. The whole country means the whole citizen, all the Indians were expecting unprecedented, means new, unparalleled, new optimism. Optimism means positive thinking. All the people had positive thinking that now we will get the freedom, now we will have our own rules and regulations, we will be free, not under the British government, we will be free. Everyone was thinking positively. Optimism, unprecedented optimism, new optimism, new positive thinking. Number 3, Kalam asked his, at the time, the meantime, Kalam asked his father for permission to leave Rameswaram and study at the district headquarters at Ramanathapuram. Ramanathapuram, the district headquarters. So Abdul Kalam asked his father, he had finished his class 5, he was in class 5 and at the end of the year, he asked his father, may I go out from Rameswaram to the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram to study there? Because here I have finished class 5, here we have primary school, we don't have high school. May I go and study outside? His father replied positively. His father really all the time helped him, provided him confidence, assured him. He told Kalam, paragraph 11, he told Kalam, Abdul, I know you have to go. I know you have to go. When the fish is small, you can keep him in a small pond. When the fish grows big, then you cannot keep him in a pond. You need a big space. The fish needs big space. So the fish has to be put in a bigger pond, lake or in sea. So similarly, he told Abdul Kalam, Abdul, I know you have to go away to grow. By staying at home, you cannot grow. You will not learn anything. You need to go out from Rameswaram. If you stay in Rameswaram, you cannot study further. You have studied class 5, you cannot study further because we don't have high school over here. You need to go out in order to grow and learn and become someone else. Does the seagull not fly? Seagull means the bird that flies in the sea. That's called a seagull. So, a water bird. Does the seagull not fly across the sea, across the sun, and without a nest? The seagull keep on flying in the sky, in the sea, because there are no trees to sit and perch. They keep on flying under the sun, just above the sea, without a nest, without a place to sit. They keep on flying all the time. Similarly, you need to go out and keep on working hard, keep on studying so that you will reach your goal. So his father really encouraged him, provided him inspirations and supported him all the time. So number 2, he told his hesitant wife. His wife was not ready to send Kalam outside. No, my son will not go outside. What he will do there? There will be no one to look after him. He will face problems. He has not gone outside. He is so young. His mother tried to stop this idea. of going out, sending her son outside. Though Abdul Kalam's mother was hesitant to send Abdul Kalam outside Rameswaram, but his husband, her husband, you can say Abdul Kalam's father, he means here Abdul Kalam's father, told his hesitant wife, wife means Kalam's mother. So he told his hesitant wife, hesitant means not ready, your children are not your children. Your children are not children, your children. They are the children of the country. So, your children are not your children. They come through you. They come through you, but not from you. Means, you give them birth. You provided them food, shelter, protection, everything. But they have their own way of thinking. Their thoughts are with them. They have their own thoughts. They come from you, but not, they come through you. They come through you, but not from you. Not from you means the children have their own way of thinking. But they come through you, but not from you means they have their own way of thinking. They can think independently. You may give them love. You may give them love, but not your thoughts. You see, this is clear. You may give them love, you may give them protection, affections, provide everything, but they have their own thoughts, they have their own way of thinking. So let them think, let them do what they want to do. Means provide freedom. Do not keep him inside in the house and do whatever you want. No, that's wrong. For they have their own thoughts. So by keeping your son at home, he will never learn. You must send him outside so that he will learn and he will experience the outside world, so that he will face the competition. So that's the advice given to her wife, his wife. So he told her, your children are not your children, they are the children of our country and they come through you but not from you. So means you gave them birth, but they have their own thoughts. Let them think independently. So you may give them love, but not your thoughts. So they have their own thoughts. So let them go outside and proceed, learn, become someone else. Keep the name and fame of Rameswaram. So Abdul Kalam's teacher advised and suggested her, persuaded her, make her understand that by keeping your children at home will never learn. So he has to go out. The world is open. The seagull flies out in the open sky. Not without a nest, because the sky is high. So let the child go out into the world and experience everything. So in this way, Abdul Kalam's father, this shows that he was very wise. Though he did not have formal education, but he was very much wise and very much supportive to his children, especially Abdul Kalam. He was quite brilliant. Among the other children, he was quite brilliant. He was very good in studies and he wanted Abdul Kalam to prosper and become someone else. So his father knew his quality, that's why he supported him all the time. So even his mother did not allow him, did not want him to go out. His father made her understand, persuaded her so that Abdul Kalam can proceed with his studies. So that's all for today. We have finished our lessons. In our next class, we'll have our poem, No Men Are Foreign. That's a very good poem. So we will talk about that and try to understand about the people around the world and our relation with them. That's the theme of the poem, No Men Are Foreign. So we'll talk about that in our next class tomorrow. So this much for today. Go through the book properly. Go through online portal every day so that you will not miss your classes. By reading, just reading, many things you cannot understand. It has to be explained, or the meaning has to be explained. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you for watching the video.